Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and we're back at the laundromat that opened last week with massive problems, and you will not believe what the old laundromat repair guys said in response to some of the stuff that happened and things they didn't fix. It is crazy, so we'll talk about that, our progress, and what the new plan is going forward. As you can see, there are parking spots, so that's nice. We're back in the laundromat, and we have some good news, some bad news, and updates on the dryers, updates on the two laundry repair groups who are, one's really good, one's really annoying, and you won't believe what one of them said to me. We'll talk about that, and in general, how things are going. They definitely could be going way better, but they could be going way worse too, I guess. So, all right, so just to update you, I took over this laundromat a few months ago. It was from another person who owned it. They got behind on their rent or couldn't pay rent. A lot of machines were here. We took it over with all the machines. I leased this space. We came through and fixed a bunch of the machines. Most of them were broken. I added new machines from another laundromat that was defunct, where I paid $20,000 for 3, 4, 5 new big washers, 12 smaller washers here, some dryers, some other ones. And the bonus there was there's $1,000 of quarters in those machines still that no one had gotten out. So it was a good thing I did that, because that's part of our story here. Took a long time to get this ready. I had some older laundromat guys who were helping me with my other laundromat, which is in Kersey, Colorado. We're in Greeley, Colorado here. And I bought some machines from them. Took them forever to get those machines to me. Took them forever to get them installed. Finally got them installed. And honestly, we've just had problems with those machines. They were supposed to be completely rehabbed and rebuilt since they've been installed. And then those guys were here to rebuild some of the stuff here. They rebuilt one machine. It literally took them like a month to rebuild it. And then supposedly they had gone through all of these dryers, made sure they were working, and told me they were all fine. Well, we opened last Friday, kind of a soft opening. If you ever watch Bar Rescue, they have soft openings. We have a sign up, but we're definitely not going crazy advertising stuff, because I wanted to make sure things were working, which is a good thing. I did it that way. Well, when we opened, I kept getting calls and texts about these dryers not working. I came over here, tested them all. That was in my last video. 10 of the 18 weren't working. They pulled door codes. A couple of them weren't heat. One of them just wouldn't turn on at all. It was honestly pretty embarrassing. And I should have checked them, I guess. But I literally had paid guys to come through, check them. They confirmed they're all working, and they weren't. So the older guys were working on these dryers pretty much, and then they had referred me to another group of laundromat repair people who installed the machines for me, fixed most of these machines for me, and they did all that work in a few days, honestly. But they had to come back a few times. They're very busy, and so it still took some time to get that done. But the old guys had, I texted them, I'm like, hey, these aren't working. And they're like, oh no, they're working. We tested them all. I'm like, no, they're not. There's 10 of them not working. And they're like, well, they worked fine when we were done with them. Something must have happened between now and then. And I'm like, okay, that's a little weird that 10 of them aren't working and we haven't been open. So I said, it took them a long time to respond to. And they're like, well, we'll be there tomorrow and look at everything and check it out. I'm like, okay, I'll let them check it out. And at the same time, I text the other laundromat guys who are much better, and they said, yeah, we can probably stop by sometime next week, let us know. And so the old laundromat guys didn't show up the day they said they would. They texted that, and I said, sorry, we got busy, we'll come tomorrow. And at that point, I'm like, nope, I don't need you, I'm gonna have the other person do it. And they know each other. Like I said, they referred each other to me, so it makes it a little bit weird. And the new guy said, hey, I can be there tomorrow. I'll check it out and look at it. So I told them, the old guys, don't come. The other guy's coming. He's going to look at him. And you won't believe what they told me after I said that. And I've got a text. I'll try and overlay it here if I remember. First come, first serviced is what the older laundromat guys text me. So they literally were saying if they get here first, they get to work on them. If not, then maybe the other guy gets to. And I was like, dude, you guys have already had 3 or 4 days to come look at them, and you haven't done it. And now when I mentioned that someone else is going to do it, it's a contest to see who gets here first. And I knew they wouldn't win that contest anyway, because the other guys get here pretty early in the morning. They both have to travel, actually at least an hour away, which is annoying, but I knew they want to get here first anyway, so that was ridiculous. So I was very clear, don't come, we don't need you here. And they're like, well, we're going to go to your shop and work on a Horizon, because I've got some extra washers and that need some work to be fixed up at my other laundromat. And I didn't say anything. And so this all happened the day before yesterday. Yesterday I come over and I meet the good laundromat guy. He's going through these machines, trying to figure out what's wrong with them, and we'll talk about that here soon. And I'm in back here in my back room, checking stuff out, bringing some toilet paper, because that's one thing we forgot. If I can get into we changed all the codes, by the way. Not that anybody knows them, but so I was back here looking at stuff. I was actually trying to find my cameras, because that's another story. This system is really hard to use. Because another story, come on, do something. Yesterday, my contractors came over here to work on a few minor things, and they said this door was wide open. This is my office door. Now that's our coin machine. There's access to stuff that shouldn't be accessed, right? And he's like, hey, you left your door open. And he looked at my cameras, like, I did not leave my door open. I know it wasn't me. And he looked back on the cameras. We had HVAC guys come through here because it wasn't heating up very well. And we didn't even give them the code. They knew the code. It was one of the codes we've used before on other properties. They went in here looking for batteries, left the door wide open. So that's one reason why I changed the code, is because we don't need stuff like that happening. And I don't know what is going, oh, here, let's hit X. Will that do something? There we go. So yeah, they were here. Oh, look, there I am, filming right now. And there goes someone walking outside. So I was here looking at the cameras, trying to get footage of the HVAC guys. You can see, look at me talking with my hand. And it was really hard to find. I wasn't finding. I found some footage of them, but not them leaving the door open. And I saw the old laundromat guys walk into here. Both of them. I'm like, what are you doing? Because there's kind of one main one I talked to, and he's got a friend who works on stuff. And I was pissed. I could not believe they came here after I specifically told them not to. And so I was in a hurry, because I actually had an appointment to go look at a multifamily property. And I was rushing around. I had to go. So I was about to go out there and yell at them. Then they all went back here. So they're talking to the other laundromat guy, and he was talking to them. And then I just walked out and didn't talk to them. And then I didn't, because I knew if I started talking to them, I'd be late. And so I left. I sent a text to the new laundromat guy. I'm like, are those guys here? He's like, yes. And I text the other guys. I'm like, are you guys in Greeley? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't want you here. I'm not paying for you guys to be there. Why are you here? And he's like, oh, well, we're changing the price on the washer because we didn't get that done before. And it's taken them like 3 days to change the price on one washer. I told him I'm not paying for that. And he's like, don't worry. The other guy's just along for the ride. He's not charging anything, and we'll only be here a little bit. He was here 4.5 hours. The whole time the other guy was here. I'm sure he was bugging the crap out of him. And it's like Wayne's World, where Wayne can't get rid of his ex-girlfriend who just keeps stalking him, and these guys won't leave. So, like I've said, I have hardly paid them for anything. So it's crazy, and nothing they do works. So back to my story. This is the one washer they were trying to change the price on. It's still not done. Well, no, there's two. Sorry, they fixed the one up front. And this one did actually have the right price. And I wanted to change the price on these because these bigger ones were the same as the smaller ones. And I specifically, this was like a couple weeks ago, I'd asked them to do this. And I'm like, hey, how long will it take you? Is it easy to do this? And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. It'll only take an hour or two. And yeah, like 2 weeks later, it's still not done. So, and I asked him yesterday too, because I saw on the cameras, they're he was still here till like 4 or whatever. I'm like, hey, did you get the prices fixed and changed? And he didn't respond to me. He still hasn't responded to me. Just left, put an out of order sign on it, and I haven't heard anything back. So that's been amazing. With the dryer situation, what did we find out? Like I said, the other guy, the good guy, I could call them good and bad guys from now on, checked out all of these dryers. He said he's hoping it was something really easy. You can see there's fewer out of order signs now. There's only 5 out of order signs instead of 10. He got 5 of them working. There were some bad switches, some other stuff going on with him, but there's good news and bad news. He said these down here, he thinks all have bad boards and have to have the whole electrical board replaced. It's $1,800 for one board, but there's good news on that. We'll talk about that. But I'm like, okay, so how did we not know this before? How we're not checked out? And the good laundromat guy is very even-keeled, middle of the road. I don't think he wants to, talk bad about anybody. He's just like, well, I mean, it could be that it's possible they didn't, they thought they were working, because if you reset the board, it will work until you open the door. So I guess if you reset the board, reset this whole thing, and you turn it on, it will work and heat up. But as soon as you open the door, it pulls the door code, and then it won't work anymore. And I'm like, well, okay, sure, if you never open the door when you're testing a machine, I guess you might think it works, but that seems kind of silly that once you've turned the power on, turned it back on, you're, you can see the sign right there, putting quarters in to test it, make sure it works or whatever you do, that you would never open the door. How can you, if that's the case, they're some of the worst repair guys I've ever met in my life. And I think that we're figuring that out now. So, the good news, maybe, good news. I mentioned, this is the one, okay, that price is right. And then, oh gosh, I'm gonna talk about that more here later. But I mentioned $1,800 for a new board. Everything is so expensive because they want you to buy new machines. That's the point of these. I bought all those machines from the defunct laundromat. I have 8 of these in my shop that I got. I didn't know what to do with them. I thought maybe I'd put some of them in Kersey at some point. They might have the right motherboards to work in here. Or maybe we can just swap those out for some of these. So that should save me an absolute ton of money. So it's looking like that was just a really good decision over and over again to buy all those machines. Because most of them were actually working and in great shape, especially compared to the machines that were in here. And it was so much cheaper than buying them new. Obviously there's some hassles and different difficulties there, but hopefully that will work out okay. And I did ask him too hey, can you price new machines for me and give me an idea on those, because you can get bigger machines, newer stuff, prettier stuff, but stuff is so expensive. I doubt it will be worth it for me to do new stuff, but we can look at that. Other laundromat guys kind of, some will say used is okay. Some say you have to have go new. It just depends on the laundromat. This isn't a huge, massive laundromat. So, but we'll try and get some of those prices and see what's going on. We'll see if those motherboards work. But it's been interesting going through all of this. So, that's kind of the update. I will say, God, the last text the old guy, the bad guys sent me was, hey, I went to another laundromat and I saw that their pricing is this and this and this. Do you want me to change all your pricing? I'm like, no, I do not want you to change any more pricing. I don't want you to touch anything else. No. And he's like, oh, okay. And then that's before he spent another 3 hours trying to change the price on one machine. And who knows what was going on there, because he had the whole thing taken apart. It wasn't just the upper part. So that's where we're at, and I want to collect money tomorrow and see how we do. But since we've had people in here working on everything, I'm sure that's hurt sales. I'm sure it's hurt sales that so many of those are not working. But it's better now. I feel a little bit better that at least the majority of them are working right now. So I feel better. Oh, and the other thing we figured out, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the other video or not. This machine right here is slightly tilted. The base is slightly off kilter, and that base was there before. And so it runs into the wall and shakes the wall, and the DMV next door thinks there's an earthquake going on, and that's why there's dirt coming off of that wall, which is crazy how there's so much dirt in the wall. But anyway, they're gonna come, the good laundromat guys are gonna come, oh, they've got that one shut off too, so it doesn't do that, and redo that today too. They also got me a new base for another one up here, and they're gonna pick up that machine and put that in. So it's like, hey, I asked them to do stuff, and not only do they do it and do it very quickly, they often volunteer. Hey, we can also fix this for you and do this for you. And yes, so we should be getting all that done here and good to go very soon. So that's the update. Here, we will open up. We'll open up the coin machine. Oh, maybe we'll check a few. We'll do a sneak peek. Is that somebody? Oh no, I'm taking these keys with me, by the way. I'm not leaving them in here. Because even though we changed the code, I still don't trust anybody. We'll see if there's any. Well, boy, that doesn't look like many quarters are gone. I mean, there's. Oops, sorry. This is a couple days of money. I mean, there's some in there. It should sure be nice to see a lot more. Some, but not like overflowing. Like I said, it's tough when there's people in here working on machines. People don't really want to be in here when that's going on. But I have talked to a number of customers. Every time they come in, I try and give them a few quarters bonus, and that makes them happy. Oh, that's a pretty fair amount. And so that's something to consider too, is people might be bringing their own quarters too. It should be the exact same key unless I just, okay. I mean, there's money in all the machines. It's been less than a week. Be nice if there was massive amounts of money, but that's okay. But no, I was saying, I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of customers. Many of them are really, really happy that we're open again. They said they're sad to see it close, and they've been understanding about the machines and stuff and all that. And they said it looks way better, and they're way happier. Those that were in here before, and compared to now, and they see all the new machines. So that's been good. Hopefully, yeah. We just word gets out, more and more people come. Once everything is kind of settled in, then I can really start to advertise, maybe have a grand opening, and go from there. So that's the update. That's what's going on here. I think tomorrow we'll count money, see what's in here. We'll also count money at the other laundromat. Friday might be my money counting day, and we'll see how it goes. But this first week probably isn't going to be the best week, and I'll make my charts, and we'll see if we can increase sales so that this place makes money. If not, there might be a laundromat for sale. We'll see. All right, take care. Be back soon.